Today on The Young and the Restless, Nate assures Audra of her future. Adam rejects his father's help, and Daniel tells Lucy about Phyllis. Lounging in their bed at the GCAC, Victoria tells Nate that they can't stay there all day. He senses she has something in mind. She can't stop thinking about obliterating Adam's new business venture before it gets off the ground. When she asks if that's callous, he says no. It may be ruthless, but he thinks that's necessary. He wonders how many moves ahead she is in this game. Victoria admits she's always wanted McCall, and she suspects that Adam could focus all his strength on wiping out Newman Media. Nate suggests that they wipe him out first and assures her that he's devoted to this. After they get dressed, they look forward to their next night together. He suggests it's best for them to leave the room separately. He wouldn't want Elena to catch them. As she puts in her earrings, she tells him how thoughtful he is. He looks forward to their next session and they kiss. In the dining room of the GCAC, Victor reminds Adam that he's given him an enormous opportunity by placing him in charge of McCall. His son reminds him that he agreed to this only on the condition that Victor not interfere. Peering at him over his glasses, Victor tells his son that he has turned around companies like this before. Why would he not take advantage of his expertise? He's offering him advice for free. Adam is sure that any help comes with strings. His father brings up how well they together building Newman Media. Adam is determined to refocus McCall's holdings onto media and entertainment. That means his old company is now in his crosshairs and primary competitor. Victor suggests he's basing his decision-making on emotion. He needs to let that go because he's being stupid. Why won't he let him help rebuild the whole company? His son refuses to throw good money into an already bloated company. They need to cut and sell. Victor reminds him that Newman Media has deep pockets. However, Adam remains determined to squash Newman Media. He spots Nate heading for the door and notes that he doesn't have a gym bag with him and assumes he wasn't there for breakfast. If this advice session is over, Adam is going to leave. Victor looks at his phone and his son exits. Glaring over at the stairs, Victor watches his daughter come down and waves her over to ask why she is there so early. She claims she was just there working hard and has more hard work waiting for her at the office. At his priding, she admits she was with Nate, but it's not serious, yet. He takes a deep breath and explains that her brother is concerned about her relationship with Hastings. She says this is no one's business. Nate is ambitious and he's developing a cutthroat edge. She likes that. Nick doesn't because he doesn't have it. Victor advises her to keep her edge because Adam plans to come after Newman Media. I welcome it. Nate and I can handle it, she says. Audra bumps into Nate in Chancellor Park. She notices he's in the same suit as yesterday. He doesn't like her tone. She's sure he was with Victoria and she thinks it's great he's been with the boss. They are getting more of what they both want. She's surprised when he says he has a relationship with the boss. It seems like he's moving fast. Audra reminds him of how valuable she can be to him at Newman. She can cover his back and tell him all that people say behind his. He knows this won't come for free. When I rise in the ranks, I will assure Newman Media is yours, he says. She smiles. Chesley and Billy are in the park discussing dropping their kids off at school. She admits that she missed him yesterday. They both thought of calling but wanted to give each other space. She's realized she doesn't need any. He tells her how much he's enjoying being good at his job again. It feels good to protect the family and step up in a crisis like his father would have wanted. She says it feels good working with Daniel too. They chat about how Connor is doing better, and he thinks they both deserve a pat on the back for doing so well. Before he can head back to the office, they arrange to meet for dinner tomorrow with the boys. They kiss. At Crimson Lights, Lucy tells Daniel that he's been a little weird lately. She knows he misses Phyllis, and so does she. He explains there is something she needs to know, even if it's a little out there. They get a table and he explains that her grandmother is alive. She finds it hard to digest, but she believes him. Her father knows it's hard to hear. His mother has a good heart but fell into a dark place. She spiraled out of control and Stark took advantage of her. Phyllis may not be blameless, but she would have never done this if she was in the right state of mind. Lucy asks what's next and worries about the look he has. Her father tells her not to worry about him. He will be okay and he's right there with her. They chat about Lely and he explains how good it has been to be distracted by work. Chelsea wanders in and tells Lucy what an honor it is to meet her. Lucy is surprised to hear she knows all about Princess Louisa. She tells her father how much she loves the beta of the game and all the little touches that come from her real life. Chelsea suggests they get the whole family together while Lucy is in town. At the Abbott house, Diane is eager to get the charges dropped and her ankle monitor off. Jack and Kyle are hoping the DNA evidence can do that, but they will have to wait for Christine. Summer joins them and admits she doesn't even know what to think since they found evidence her mother is alive. Diane is sure that discovering what her mother is capable of must be hard on her, and assures her she doesn't hold it against her. They're all grateful that Harrison didn't have to know anything about this because it would confuse him. Summer is startled when they announce Chance is on his way over. She thought they weren't going to involve the authorities. Jack is sorry if there will be charges against Phyllis, but they can't protect her at Diane's expense. Looking at Kyle, Summer guesses he's okay with this. Chance arrives. Everyone is surprised that he had a conversation with Summer last night. Chance asks why he's been asked there again. Jack hands him the DNA tests. They prove that Phyllis was in the motel room with Stark after she was supposedly killed. This proves that she's alive. Chance tries to poke holes in the evidence, but Jack is sure they were hiding in the motel. He urges him to admit there is something to this. When Diane complains Phyllis is probably living it up somewhere, Summer snaps and then covers by saying that's not how Daniel described her. The cop is still not convinced. Kyle tells him to do his job so they don't have to do it for him. Annoyed, the detective points out he's talking to people who are not above faking evidence. Besides, the chain of evidence for the hair is compromised and Daniel's evidence remains uncorroborated. Even if this is all true, they've screwed themselves by going rogue again. The cop walks out. Kyle and Jack realize they have made things worse. Diane can't believe their plot to frame Jeremy has come back to bite them. They are sure there must be more evidence out there for them to find. Summer slips out. Kyle soon notices and takes off to find her. Diane worries that Phyllis may have been smart enough to cover her tracks and disappear. She feels trapped in the house with nothing to do. Jack offers her a diversion and suggests she start planning their wedding. It can be as extravagant as she can dream. They kiss. Summer joins Chance at society and thanks him for not telling anyone what they discussed. He points out there wasn't much to reveal since she didn't answer any of his questions. The detective warns her that if she's keeping something from Kyle, that could spell big trouble for her marriage. She thanks him for giving her space to have her own feelings. Not a lot of people are doing that for her. Chance isn't emotionally tied up in this. Summer feels like he's the only person who can help her find her mom and clear her name. The cop wants to help but needs her to tell him what she knows. She claims she has nothing else to say. As soon as she walks out, she calls and leaves her mom a message, telling her it's too hard and she needs her to come home.